Man, we been wanting to get J3 on the podcast, man. For sure. Been wanting to get that nigga on. Come on. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna just get straight into it, man. Welcome back to another episode of the Real Me with Rel podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in once again. If you guys are new to this channel, of course, I am your host, Rel, and this is my podcast at the Real Me with Rel. As you guys can see, like on the merch right there. But yeah, welcome back. Thank you guys for tuning in once again. Welcome back, the podcast family. All the viewers at home, if you're at work, in the car. I don't really know specifically where you guys watch my podcast at. Do I really want to know that? I'm fine without knowing it. But you know what? The fact is, you guys are watching it. I don't care where you guys are at, but I want to say I appreciate every single one of you guys watching from wherever you are. Whether that be location-wise or just physical location-wise. That I don't know how that I was supposed to make sense, but it basically said, like, no matter where you are on the map or whatever. I love you guys, man. That's all I'm basically trying to say is I don't care where you're watching. I appreciate you guys. Today we were supposed to actually do a podcast. Not one like this. We were supposed to do a podcast with the Ozone Smoke Shop family, but unfortunately that did not work out today. And I am not too sure if we're going to be still bringing that episode to the channel. So I hope so, but I don't know if it's going to be anytime soon. But moving on. So I thought, you know what? Let's just do a solo episode. I actually, YouTube is getting, over the years of doing YouTube, this is my 30 on YouTube. YouTube Studio has so many different analytics and so many different tools that they build, they bring on to the platform. And one of them is kind of like AI, but it's like AI creator tool. So anyways, point being is AI told me that you guys are really liking the solo episodes. We just dropped one. The last one that we did was actually the top 5 dumbest things that I ever did. And it got a lot of good feedback from you guys. And it said keep doing those episodes. So today, technically, I don't have really too many stories for you guys. But I think I have a good topic to talk about. I'm not going to make this episode too long. I'm going to make it roughly, I want to say like 30 minutes. I'm going to try to shoot for that. No rush, but I don't want to make it a long episode. But I think it's a good topic. But yeah, before we get more into this episode, make sure you guys are following me on Instagram at JarrellB. You guys can obviously follow. You guys can find those links in the description. And you guys, if not, it's going to be popped up on the screen at JarrellB. Follow me on Instagram for real. I need more followers. I don't really pay attention to that type of stuff. I'm more of like a real life person. I feel like my face is good in real life. Not like that, but basically like I feel like I care about more of my credibility or like status in real life than I do on social media. Like I feel like following, we're not even gonna get too deep into that. Why am I even going off into that? Who cares? All I'm saying is, yeah, give me a follow on Instagram for sure at Jarrell. And if not, follow follow the podcast at the Real Me with Rel. That's more important. Don't even follow me. Follow my podcast, the Real Me with Rel. At the bottom of the screen. There's Twitter like right here, and then I think the Instagram is somewhere down here. I don't know. But yeah, follow us on all social media platforms. That means TikTok, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, at the Real Me Clothing. If you like what I'm wearing, this is you could get this right now for $40. It is a crew neck that we have. This is the brown crew neck. This is actually the season 2 logo. Right? Yeah, this is actually the season 2 logo. The season 4 logo. So the one that you guys get mostly, unless it really depends. So what we do basically when it comes to clothing, guys, is that we basically just put the newest logo on the newest merch. The only logo that stays the same is the vintage. And I, unfortunately, don't even have any vintage, I don't think. I don't even have one vintage myself right now. But it's like the vintage hoodies it's the first season that we dropped of the hoodies. They look like vintage color wash. They come in a bunch of colors, but that's the only logo that's gonna stay the same. It's the first logo we ever had. All my other clothing moving forward is gonna have always like the newest logo on it, unless like you like request it. Like if you want a hoodie like this. Okay, so see, like this is like a. You know what? Give me a second, guys. This is crazy. Yeah, so if you want a hoodie like this, right? So this is like a regular black, pullover hoodie that you guys can order right now for $40. So if you want something like this, where You guys can see it right. I mean, I'm gonna hold it up for you guys. My bad, y'all. So see, it got like the logo right across there. If you want something like this will cost you $40. It's gonna come usually with the newer logo, so like the one with my face on it. But yeah. But besides the season 1, all the other merch that we have, including this one, the crew necks, the zip ups, those are also popular as well. That we have zip ups, and the pullovers will have the newest logo on it at The Real Me Clothing. So yeah, make sure you guys get yourself some merch. I also want to shout out the interviews we've done this year. Crazy with Ariana Epto. I'm gonna shout it out one more time. I don't really care. It's it's one of my favorite interviews I've done this far. This year, and I'm gonna cut that part out because that was just ridiculous. Like I said, it is one of my favorite interviews that I've done this year. Shout out Ariana Epto. It was a Valentine's Day special. We did that over at Sunny Hills Barbershop. We have more interviews coming soon, very, very soon. Unfortunately, we had one planned today, but it's not going to work out. So we want to do another one. It's not that we're going to do it. We're planning on doing another one next week. I'm going to try to have it out. I don't think I'm going to have it out in time for next week, but I think I'm going to drop this episode first, and then you guys could see that interview like right after, just to have something for you guys to listen, just to watch. But yeah, a lot of interviews coming soon in Sunny Hills Barbershop. Make sure you guys go fuck with them at Sunny Hills Barbershop, located in La Habra / Fullerton. It's like borderline. But yeah, make sure you guys go rock with them. Shout out our sponsors for sure. A lot of interviews coming soon. Okay, so the topic of the day is, guys, this is the topic of the day. The topic is, and I think this is pretty good because honestly, this is something, this conversation I've had with a lot of my friends personally, like mostly like my little bros and my little sis, like my little homegirls, like that are younger. I've had like my little cousins and things like that. I've had this conversation with. But it is the question of the day is, and let me just read it real quick so I don't like miss word this. Man, you really gonna do this right now to me? Okay. Things I wish I knew in my earlier 20s. And I think this is going to be a great thing to talk about, especially me turning 24 next month. We're going to blow past that. I think this is a perfect time. I'm still in my early 20s, I guess. I'm almost leaving it, but I guess I'm wrapping it up, if that makes sense, pretty much. This is kind of like my last year, I would say, is my early 20s, because next year would be mid. You know what? We're not going to get that far ahead. Anyways, I'm going to be 24. I'm 23 right now, but I think this is a perfect time for me to comment on this a little bit. I feel like I've experienced so many different things over the past 4 years of my 20s. It's been a lot. You guys honestly have been along with me for the ride, and that's why I feel like it's another great reason why to come up on here and talk about it. When I started this podcast, I was 19, about to turn 20. The first vlog that I ever did was with my 20th birthday, the birthday kickback. We'll pull that up right now. It was really, really a fun time. And you guys have seen me grow. If you've been watching this podcast since I've started, you've seen me grow throughout my 20s. I've literally turned 20 on this channel, and I'm now 23, about to be 24. And I thought I could just give some insight on that for any of my younger audience, people that are 18, 19, 17, in high school, whatever it is, younger than that. But there's so many different things, and I'm just going to go over a few. I think the first thing, I wish I knew, or I wish I would have told my younger self, when I just turned 20, was be careful what you chase. Be careful what you put your mind to and what you focus on. I think it's so important. It's so crucial. So crucial. And, I might be, when I'm talking right now, it might sound like I'm like an super old head. Mind you, I'm only 23, but I think it's very important on what you put your mind to and what you focus on and who you listen to and who you take advice from when you are just getting out of high school, early 20s. I think it's very important because when you get out of high school, there's so many it's so many, you got all your friends, all your family, whoever, right? That's the same age as you and going in different directions. And it might not be right away. Some take longer than others, but you see it pretty fast. It's just like when you go from like, middle school to high school, like, how fast things changed, like, it's just like the same thing, but it's just a little more scarier because it's forever. So that's where you I think that's no, it's not where I think, but that's definitely where it's different, when you're out of high school, because this is real life now, not just a different grade or different school or different of that nature. So I think it's very important to be careful what you focus on. A lot of the conversations I have with my little bros or my little cousins and stuff like that, and I think we've talked about this multiple times on the podcast. Social media is a very big issue these days, more than it was when I was even younger, and I'm not that much older. Like I said, only 23 right now, but it's gotten worse over the years, like way worse. So, just don't believe everything you see on social media. Talking from a Los Angeles standpoint, I know not everybody is from Los Angeles that is watching the podcast right now, but you guys can definitely still relate to what I'm about to say. But being specifically from Los Angeles, the culture that we have here, that glorifies, the money and the rappers and the entertainment industry, and even the people that do what I do, even YouTube and stuff like that. And hold on. And the point I'm trying to make is you don't want to get too sidetracked with that. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. Do not compare yourself to the next person. Be yourself, man. Everybody has a different journey of the way they go about things in life. And quite frankly, if you keep comparing yourself to the next person, you'll do that for the rest of your life. There are, I don't know the exact number of people, but there's 8-9 billion people on the planet. And you're going to do that until you die if you keep trying to compare yourself to everybody. And it's a hard reality to face, and I know myself, I'm guilty of it too. I get frustrated of my life. Everything's not perfect for me. There's things that I struggle with, things that I struggle with, or things that I deal with that get me frustrated. That's not moving at the progressive rate that I want it to, whether it be my podcast, for example, or just me as a person, Jarrell, like without the whole YouTube thing, as a person. But my podcast and me are so big. I don't want to say big, but it's such a big part of my life that what I'm trying to say, it's almost like the same thing. You know what I mean? My podcast is me and I am my podcast, but, I would say just outside the podcast, just goals, financially, and just certain things that I want in my life, man. Like, I want the finer things in life as well. And, but life isn't about material things as well. And that's why I don't want to get too sidetracked. And that's why I'm telling you guys, don't focus on stuff like that, because as a human being, I'm rich. I have my health. God bless my mothers. They're all still alive. My godmother's alive. All my siblings are alive. My cousins and my mom's healthy. And that is what is important in life. It's not the car you drive. It's not the watch you rock. It's not the chain you got on. It's not the house you live in. This is material things. And I'm just trying to overall just give you an example of what I'm talking about on what things you should not focus on. So going back to the subject, I wish earlier in my 20s I knew that what I focus on is very critical on where my headspace is going to be and where I end up. What you think about is, I don't want to say, not, I'm gonna say like what you think about is like kind of what you not what you become, but what you focus on is what you find more of, and you got to be careful with that. So think positively, focus on things that you can control. I wish I knew in my earlier 20s that I can't control everything. I didn't really know that at that age. And I'm talking about with friendships, with relationships, with life, family. There's certain things that you can't control, and it's not easy for sure. And it's definitely, I would say, it hurts. There's gonna be things in life that are gonna come across that you just can't control, and it's not your fault. And I really wish that like I knew that like as I was younger. Seriously, yeah. So all my earlier 20 people, there's things that are gonna be out of your control in life, and you got to be able to deal with that and live with that as well, and understand that more importantly. And that's life. Life isn't controllable. You can't. Life is optimistic. It's crazy. It's random. You don't know what's next. You don't know what's your day's gonna be like. Focus on the present. That's another thing I wish I learned a little earlier on. Focus on what's in front of you, not too far ahead. I don't know what the saying is, but it's like yesterday was a mystery. Tomorrow, no. See, I already messed it up. Yesterday was history. Tomorrow's a mystery, and today is the present. That's why it is called a gift, and I really do believe in that. Don't focus on too much. A lot of my little cousins, when I talk to them, and people that have that age, they're focused on like, I want to get this job and I want to start making this money and they do this and this and I want to go here and I want to go there. And I tell them, I was telling my little bro, I said, bro, he was telling me right now, like he was like, bro, I really need to buy myself a house. Like I need to, and I think he's like living with his girlfriend at the time or right now. And he's like, I really need to buy myself a house. Like I need a house, bro. I need a house right now. Like I want to buy myself, I need to do this. And mind you, I think my little bro is only 21. I think like 21 for sure, or 20, maybe 21. I'm not even too sure. But he's got this in his head that he needs to buy this house and that he needs to do this. And don't get me wrong, it's great to have goals and stuff like that and to eventually want that, but just don't rush it. I feel like in your early 20s, everything feels like it has to be right now because you see everybody else kind of doing the things that you want. And it's not necessarily like that. Move at your own pace. As Nipsey said, it's a marathon, not a race. Focus on small goals, things you can control, and getting better. Focus on getting better. Things that you can critique, things that, whether it's your health, going to the gym, hobbies, whatever you're into, just think of small things you can work on to get better over time. And that will help you get to where you want to be faster. I promise you that. Tatted on my right arm, actually, it says, my godfather, this is one of his favorite quotes that he used to always tell me growing up. And I never really understood the quote until I got older. I really thought he just said it because it rhymed. It just sounds good. Like, it just sounds like a good quote. But he was telling me life. He was telling me what life is, about life. And the quote is, slowly but surely, because fast doesn't last. And, man, was he so spot on with that. God bless his heart. He passed away last year, but I got to show him that tattoo before he passed away. It has his hand signature on it. I'm very proud of it. And that's what I'm telling you guys too. Take your time. Don't try to rush things. If you rush things too fast, it doesn't last. And that's 100% with everything. In relationships, business, whatever. You gotta enjoy the progress for sure. Yeah, and I think another thing I would tell myself, like I wish I knew in my earlier 20s, was to not get attached so fast. I try as hard as I can not to, and give people time. Give people time to show you who they are. Unfortunately, I learned that the hard way. by talking to different people, having different friendships, and having different relationship with girls. And as time gone on, I learned it. But if I could just go back and tell my earlier self is to, man, let people show you who they are. The best thing you could do is let someone show you who they are. Don't rush anything. And it's hard when you're caught up with somebody or you really have love for somebody and you just want things to work. Sometimes you can start going the extra mile. And I'm not saying showing up and showing love for somebody isn't necessarily the right thing to do, but just don't rush it. Love those who love you. Balance. Really just be careful of who you're showing love to, and really ask yourself, is this love being reciprocated? For sure. I think that's just something I would tell myself as well. So those are a couple gems that I feel like would really help any of my younger audience that are in their earlier 20s. I'm trying to think of anything else I would tell myself I wish I knew. Do not get into debt. Don't get into debt. Do not get yourself into debt. Do not finance anything. I financed my car when I was 18, and I put myself into debt for a brand new car because I wanted a brand new car. And I'm telling all my younger people, do not do that. You will be in debt for 5 years. Unless you magically come up with the loan money, which you aren't, you will be in debt for 5 years minimum, even longer, depending on what you're signing up for. But any really materialistic things like cars and things like that are going to set you back 5 years. And debt is literally designed to keep you broke. It's designed to keep you broke. There's this thing called inflation, money, economy. Things go up, prices go up, yada, yada, yada. Bunch of stuff plays in a factor with it. But do not go into debt. Do not go into credit card debt. Don't max out no credit cards. Credit cards, I personally am not a too big fan of credit cards. I don't want to say too much on that because I might get a sponsor from them later on. So, but I just want to say, let's just leave this comment out the way. But I will say, be careful with credit cards. Do not get yourself into debt. Be aware of interest and APR rates and things like that of that nature. When I signed my car, I didn't really understand what APR rate even was, and I still signed it and I got it. And my APR rate is high, and that's something I just did not know at the time. I didn't even have credit when I financed my car. But I will say, be careful with credit cards and things like that. And don't pay your bills on time. If you use credit cards, do not let that thing go over. Do not pay it. It will follow you forever. Forever. That goes for any debts, traffic tickets, credit card bills. It don't matter. It's going to follow you. So pay off your debts. I think that's all I'm going to say on the subject right now. And have fun. Enjoy life. Enjoy it. It goes by fast. I am 24. Like I just said, you guys have literally seen me go from 20 to 24, and it has been crazy. And it feels like just yesterday I was 22 and I'm 23 now. And it not even yesterday. It feels like I was 20 the other day, man. Not the other day. I'm tripping. I would say it feels like I was more like 21, 22 the other day. Like it really feels like it was not too long ago when I turned 21 or 22. And it's just crazy to know that 2 years have flown by. And enjoy it. Enjoy your early 20s. Enjoy every single one of it. You only turn 20, 21, 22, whatever, 3 once. And you can't go back. So that's what also I'm going to say. Don't hold any grudges. Try not to hold grudges. Try to hold the least amount of grudges on people as possible. That kind of falls back to whatever I said. Like, you can't really control everything, and that includes people and what they do. So don't waste your energy on it, and let that weigh you down as well. I would say that. I would tell myself that. Because that's not good. Anxiety and stress is the worst thing for the body. And I think that's pretty much it, guys. So I hope this advice was good for anybody that needs it or ever needed to hear it. But once again, I am your host, Rel. I want to say thank you guys for tuning in to the Real Me with Rel podcast. again, I love you guys so much. Few analytics real quick. I posted these analytics on my story today, and this is just beautiful. We're gonna pop this up during the interview, but as you guys can see here, we ranged in the past 28 days 10,000 viewers, number of viewers on the channel. 9.8K watched for the first time in 28 days, and then there's casual viewers, so they have to be considered watched in up to, it says 5 months over the past year, which it's like the third month of the year now, right? Yeah, third month of the year now. So it's been 352 of you guys, and we're sitting at 1,200 subscribers and then 43 regular viewers, and these numbers are just great. And it's amazing to see how much my podcast has grown from it being exactly at 0 to having thousands of people like you guys watching my podcast across, I don't want to say America yet, but across, should I say America? Nah, not yet. I don't think so. Not like that. But just having you guys watch my podcast across LA. What am I doing? Yeah, LA. For sure, watching it throughout Los Angeles is insane, and other places. But it is just a huge milestone, and we have so much more work to go. And I'm taking this podcast, like I said from the beginning, to the very, very top. We're gonna take this thing all the way to 1 billion views. And speaking of that, we're literally at 400,000 right now. About to be at 400,000. Gonna be at 1 million soon. And yeah, I love you guys very, very much, and thank you guys to every single one of viewer that is watching right now. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram at The Real Me with Rail. Get yourself some merch at The Real Me Clothing. And yeah, check out all the videos that we also have been dropping in season 4 with Ariana, the Highness podcast. A couple more solo episodes. We got some vlogs on the way. And let us know who you guys want to see next on the podcast. If you guys have any ideas, feel free to share that with me or my assistant. If you are out there and you want to get on the podcast at The Real Me with Rail, we are taking guests. Make sure you guys go contact my assistant. The information for that is in the description. If not, it is in the bio of my Instagram and the bio of the podcast Instagram. You guys can DM her, and she will lock you guys in. We are mobile. We do charge for interviews. I just want to give you guys a heads up on that. So, not everybody, but yeah, we do have a fee for that sometimes. And if you get hit with that, respect it, please. I have a whole production. I have a whole team with me. I have the places that we rent out and that sponsor us to let us film these interviews, the editing time. A lot of it goes into this podcast, especially the equipment. The list goes on. So if you do get hit with a fee, respect that and don't get mad at me. If not, go on another podcast. We ain't tripping. We is not tripping. That is on you. Your loss, not ours. So yeah, but besides that, thank you guys for tuning in. Let me know how you guys like this episode. All right. Wait. That's not how I say it. I say, until then, I'm going to see you on the next episode. For real.